So a couple of years ago, I purchased this dash cam after getting in an accident that with the dash cam would have been cut and dry that I was not at fault. Luckily for me, after the investigation, I wasn't found at fault, but I told myself never again would I be driving around in a vehicle without having a dash cam. And this thing has been great for the last couple of years, but there's a few things I really don't like about it and I'm looking to change. So the first thing is that I don't like this suction cup. I don't like it against the windshield like this. It's kind of a pain and I don't like the looks of it. I think it's messy. You've also got this cord that's hanging here all the time. Nobody likes cords hanging around in their vehicles, and I really don't like that. And I've also only got the one 12-volt plug that is being taken up by my dash cam. Luckily for me, there is an option with this Mangoal dash cam. So I'm gonna be installing this. It's gonna look OEM, which is awesome. I'm really excited. So let's jump into the install, guys. In our dash cam box, we have a set of instructions, the rear dash cam if you had ordered one, a set of connector wires, and we have our OEM style front dash cam. Go ahead and use the trim tool supplied to take off the existing trim around the rear view mirror. It doesn't really matter if you break it here, as our dash cam comes with its own. So since my mirror doesn't have the auto dimming feature, there's no connection that comes through here and then sits here. It's just a manual dimming mirror. So because of that, I'm going to be using the OBD2 plugin that's going to feed in through the top here and then around, and then it'll come all the way down and actually connect in to the OBD2 reader. So the connection for the OBD2 reader is super straightforward. Obviously this is the OBD2 and then this is the power supply for your camera. It's just got the one power supply plug-in right there, and if you are running the rear camera, it also has that plug-in as well. I'm just gonna be plugging in the power supply to the OBD2 reader, and I can go ahead and hide the wires and install the camera. So it's pretty straightforward how it goes on. There's a couple of tabs that click into place like so. And then it's nice and sturdy in there. And then you can come in, make sure you have these wires underneath this because you are going to be hiding them afterwards anyways. I'm keeping the rear camera in here because I'm not going to be using it. And that's in place. There we go. If you do have the fancier trim, you would be 100% done at this point with being able to connect through the splicing connection with the auto dimming feature. But for me, I just have to hide the wiring going to the OBD2 reader. I've never worked with trim before like this, and I was pleasantly surprised with how easy it was to hide the wiring. Just take your time with the trim tool provided, and hiding the wiring should only take you 10 to 15 minutes. Any of the extra wire, I just use the zip ties that are supplied and then just hid next to where the extra fuses are on the side panel on the driver's side. Once completed, make sure to go ahead and put everything back nice and snug and use the 128 gigabyte micro SD card supplied and install that in the side of your camera. So first impressions on this dash cam, really like it. The reason I'm working with this brand is because it does allow you to have that OEM look to the dash cam, and I'm always looking for OEM style products. So now I don't have the cords here. I have this 12-volt plug open now, and I don't have this clunky thing kind of stuck to my window that likes to fall off from time to time. So really happy with the overall appearance of this dash cam. So the first things I'm not super stoked on with this dash cam is the app. It does seem a little bit finicky, like the timestamp in the top left as to like how long you're recording. It was jumping between like 2 and 42 seconds and 3 and 43 seconds. So it just needs some ironing out there for sure. But I do like the fact that you can live stream what exactly you're watching from the app, and you can go in and change all the features as well, whether you want to loop it for 1 minute or 3 minutes or change the video quality and all that kind of stuff. I also had a problem just trying to connect the camera to the app. So I had the truck on but not running, and it wasn't connecting. So then I tried just running the truck and it connected right away. So I'm not sure what the difference is between running and the key being on, but I wasn't able to connect the camera first off. So there's a bit of a gripe there. I know a gripe that a lot of people have been having online is that their Apple CarPlay can't be connected at the same time you're trying to run the app. So then it'll just try to bounce back and forth between connected to the camera and then not connected to the camera and then connected to the camera because it's trying to pick up your Apple CarPlay, your wireless Apple CarPlay. I don't have that problem with this truck. I don't have wireless Apple CarPlay, but I know a lot of people were concerned with that. You just have to turn your Apple CarPlay off, I believe, within your vehicle, and then your phone will stop trying to connect the entire time. But what everyone cares about is the video quality, and this camera does have excellent quality. Whether you're running it during the daytime or at nighttime, you can see exactly what's going on. It's not blurry and it runs smoothly. The company claims it is 4K video. Whether that's true or not, I'm not really sure, as I just run 1080p with all my screens and videos. But one thing is it can pick up a license plate when vehicles are close, but it does struggle when it comes to passing by cars. Maybe I just don't have the settings right or something, but when you're going 40 miles an hour, it just lacks that ability. Personally, I'm running a dash camera, so if I do get into an accident, it'll be clear as day whose fault the incident is, whether I ran a red light like somebody's trying to claim, or it was indeed a green light that I went through. This is definitely one of the more expensive dash cams that I've seen. A lot of dash cams you can kind of get in that $50 to $100 range, somewhere in there. This is over double that. I think it retails around the $200 to $250 mark. I'll put a link in the description down below, and there's also a link in your top right corner right now that you can click on and check it out. They do sell them on Amazon, and if you are looking for a better option like I was, I highly recommend it. The video quality is definitely there in low light and in the daytime. You get rid of the cords, you open up that 12-volt plug, and you don't have something stuck to your window. You're also going to have the peace of mind knowing that people aren't going to try to break into your vehicle, knowing that there's a dash cam that they can steal, and it's a little more hidden. So if someone is breaking into your vehicle or something does happen, you can potentially have that on film without the thief ever actually knowing that they're on camera. If you guys like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Until next time, guys, take care.